Subotica has a long history of different cultures living productively and happily together. We went there to find out if the war in the 90s has affected this.
This side.
Nino is a local photographer who's lived in Subotica all his life.
In this town we have three major nationalities, Serbs, Croats and Hungarians. Because of the 10 years of war and destruction and decomposition and everything, and now it is, people are quite poor, people are angry and they do not know how to show that interrelationships between nationalities was damaged. Of course, it was damaged, but we managed, and the local authorities still managed to keep it together. We have a problem with language. The Hungarian language is quite hard to learn. But in the past, people lived together side by side and they learn each other's language. During the war times, it a little bit disappeared because of the tensions. We realized that the language is the main obstacle here. And because of that, the local authorities are trying to improve that.
We have three official languages. These are Serbian, Hungarian and Croatian. In all offices you can use either one of these three languages.
Milan's job is to help develop small and medium businesses.
Most of the companies in Subotica that were existed before are now in a bankruptcy. We must find, let's say, solutions to help us and the city to lower the unemployment rates.
Milan was born in Croatia, but after the war, his Serbian family felt it was better to move to Serbia.
Things and the relations with the Serbs and Croats were a little bit harsh, And it was a little bit tough to be a boy and to be there, let's say. And besides that, my father and my mother lost their job, so that was the point. We were like searching for a bread. It's more than 10 years that since the war has passed. So in every region or almost every city you have that, let's say, people that live with some, let's say, hate or something like that. I'm just in every single situation that we can talk about nationalism or that kind of stuff. I'm the person that I'm trying to start from myself. If I am good to someone, then I can expect to from my neighbor or from my Hungarian neighbor or a Croatian neighbor to live with me like with no problems.
Saša Vučinić, gradonačelnik.
So I'm Sasha Vučinić, the mayor of city of Subotica. One of the most important challenge is actually the kind of coexistence and living together, and not side by side. When I say living together, this means that the trends of ethnically mixed marriages never stopped here. So, for example, in Subotica, most of the people have in their wider family members who belong to different cultural and ethnic background, and we are very proud of that. I myself also come from a family which is ethnically mixed.
My cultural and ethical background is Hungarian, but I can also say that I feel also as a Hungarian, as a Serbian and as a European as well, living in Subotica. It's a very multicultural city with quite a lot of multicultural events. it doesn't talk about living in an intercultural city, and that's why we call it a multicultural city, because we live together, but usually we like to say that, okay, you can live nearby, but don't touch me, and I don't want to know about you, and I don't want to know about your culture. Unfortunately, it is still such a situation. So the question is, how can we make changes? I've been almost a youth worker for a decade now. So just sit down, or we just, I don't know, play football, or we just, do some workshop, art workshop and anything, and there's just behind it we kind of push in some questions that we can slowly reach young people. That's my approach. Now, many people do big programs, many people do intercultural festivals, which is great because it's a great way, it's very open, it's free, anybody could come. I'm always for micro projects that work with 10, 20 people and then making small but meaningful change.
If we can let's say, get along in a public square, then we can get along in our lives, I think so. These kind of things, I believe that they are very, very helpful for those people that have some bad feelings about other nations, to help them to cross over that feelings, to in the end of the line, to have a habit to live with other nations.
It is important by two aspects. One of them is to show to the world how we are living here together, and the other one is to learn from the guests also about their cultural habits.
As well as festivals, Subotica also has many minority organisations, such as the German Centre and the Roma Educational Centre.
The main problems are in education, because Roma children that came from Kosovo knew only Roma language and a little bit Albanian. We make efforts to help them to learn the language.
We want to promote differences as a value.
Manuel and Curtis are two Macedonian Roma who run workshops for the Roma Centre.
Često se pitam tugo, da li je to san ili java, da sam ja nešto drugo, da li ja imam ista prava, pa kome moj život smeta, kome to smatra krivim, kad ja sam...
This is the Office of Youth. We help the youth in their wishes, like they want to sing or use the internet. We are here also helping them to go to school. We explain them how it's important here for us to have a proper education.
We grow up here, we
go to school
and found job.
We have works here, we got jobs. We do feel like a part of Subotica. It's not that difficult for us. The discrimination level is not that big.
Many Roma people work at the local markets.
Well, she has lived here for 12 years and she finished high school over here, and she is trying to find a better job, but the current circumstances are that this is her current job and she cannot find a better place to work for now. Yeah. She noticed that there has been many cases of discrimination towards the Roma people, and she has felt it. She has felt it on her skin, but not so many times.
Gabor Lengil is a famous musician born in Subotica.
In early 90s, when the war started in this region, a group of us musicians were forced somehow to look for another solutions in other countries to move on, simply because I couldn't see myself in this crisis, in this ethnic conflict or that political situation that was overwhelming one at the time.
Gabor returned to Subotica after the war, but even now, many years later, there are still difficulties.
There is financial crisis in all cultural institutions. One cannot really rely on any institutional support in this sense. And what I see as the real challenge is actually the institutions needed, because the European Film Festival is a very important event, for example. But in Subotica we don't really have the cinemas or theaters.
The different people in Gabor's band reflect the multicultural nature of Subotica.
My last name is Hungarian, Mostar. My mother is Serb and I'm a mix of everything. Subotica is great because I'm born here and I like it. It's a fantastic place for the art. Majority feeling some kind of depression or some heavy stuff because of war, but I think in the future it will be better.
We were interested to find out how multiculturalism worked within the school system. We went to meet Slobodan Champric, who's responsible for education in the city administration.
Ovako, Subotica je jedan specifičan grad zbog toga što se u gradu...
Subotica is a specific local community because 3 languages are in official use in Subotica. And this is exactly the 3 languages in which the school instruction is taking place. There is no specific rule that the members of certain community they are obliged to attend the instruction in certain languages. This means that within a class of, let's say, 30, with a majority of Serbian, does not necessarily mean that only Serbs are attending this class. This also means that there are members of either Hungarian or Croat communities.
This multiculturalism was certainly Adriana's experience of education in Subotica.
Everywhere in Subotica you have all kinds of people, different people, and they all find some kind of mutual language. They live together productively because I've always been in, for example, my language classes, we've always been mixed up. There were Hungarians, Serbs, Croats, and we all got along really fine.
Subotica is such a multicultural city that they even have a Hungarian TV and radio station.
There is a very big number of Hungarians, ethnic Hungarians who live here. We thought that we have to produce a good radio and TV program which will be interesting for them and which will deal with the problems and the life here. We have programs about culture, we have a lot of programs about tolerance between people, to help people of different nationalities to know each other.
The art gallery also acts as a bridge connecting different cultures.
It's a very important connection between politics and culture. Young people are coming into the scene light and they are really connected well with their colleagues from Croatia, for instance, because we do exhibit artists from Croatia. Art is sometimes doing much more in the sense of they are reaching out to other cultures, you know, connecting with other countries than the official politics could ever do. I would say that Serbia is finally opening up. I mean, we had this very unfortunate period during the 90s. Milosevic was actually going across the whole country and distributing this propaganda. Don't look any further than your own backyard. Don't look into other countries. Do not ask anything other people that are foreigners. But it's also very interesting because you see, during the 90s even, Subotica was never under Milosevic's control. The opposition movement was very strong here. Now I think that's very important, and also the fact that the society here is, like you already said, very multicultural. So we have learned over the centuries to get along with each other. We're coming back again, I would say, in artistic terms and also in terms of the society's progress.
I believe that things are getting better here, especially when we are talking about that nationalism and bad feeling stuff.